They've gone 7-32 up to this point under Coach Guy, and quite frankly, this team doesn't have much of a leader uh, in Brent Guy. Now, when I was talking to my brother-in-law about him, I said, obviously being a Utah State fan, graduating from Utah State, you probably want Utah State to win this game. And he said, actually, no, I actually hope Utah State goes out and gets beat by 50 points because we need, if Utah State were to go out and beat BYU, it would mean that Brent Guy would be our head coach even longer. And so that just shows you how bleak it is when you're cheering against your team and hope your team loses so that the athletic director, who is Scott Barnes right now, wants you to, when your fans want you to lose so that you'll get rid of the head coach, things are not going well. Here's some quotes. Here's things that Brent Guy says to try to get his team energized. Boise State is exactly what we are trying to build and want to be, which is a great team. When I say that, I mean they are a bunch of guys who know how to win, understand what their coaches want, and execute under all situations. And we just aren't that. Here's another quote from Coach Guy. We try to take it one game at a time. I think we took a step back last week. We let the crowd and adversity affect us. We were definitely intimidated, and I thought we learned our lessons from when we played the University of Utah, but we didn't. I had been a 4-3 scheme guy as a player and a coach, but because the evolution of offenses had evolved into using a 4-2-5, when I saw how bad we were at stopping the run at the end of last season, I knew we had to do something. He's definitely. Here's another one. This is more positive. It was 21-7 for a long time. All we had to do was get back in the game and make a play, but we couldn't do it. Even our older guys were missing tackles, so I can't blame the entire thing on our youngsters. We just flat out got beat. We didn't have first game jitters. We had last 3.5 minutes. I'm sorry. we didn't have first game jitters. We had last 3 minutes of the first half jitters. We got beat 31-7. It's hard to find any positives. I'm not a guy that finds positives out of 31-7 games. Neither am I, Coach Guy. I don't like finding positives out of bad losses, but man, I think I would find some more positive things to say to your team. Bronco Mendenhall he's a boring interview. He's not really, the most quotable. He's not really an exciting coach when it comes to media, but Brent Guy just took it to a whole new level this season. A whole new despicable level. After losing to the University of Utah badly, Brent Guy said this in his press conference. I told the team we hit ground zero. I said both towers just went down. We're at ground zero, in my opinion, and I've got to find a way to coach them out of it. Now, obviously, Utah State University football is nowhere near as important as the events of September 11th. But Coach Guy, obviously, as well, probably looking back on that comment, probably didn't really feel like that was very appropriate. However, considering what the likely result for this upcoming BYU football game is going to be, and considering where Coach Guy is willing to go in his press conferences, I am here to offer him some suggestions of things that he can say to his team following their beatdown against BYU. I feel like Timothy McVeigh is in our locker room. Our secondary seemed as confused as Cato Kalin during his testimony. The BYU defense was hitting our guys so hard, it was as if they were getting infected with Agent Orange. We're losing the war in the Pacific, but don't worry. I have an atomic bomb. and next week's game is in Hiroshima. Sure, tonight the Arizona was sunk, but there's a whole war in front of us. Guys, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. This is the sort of game where, look, NASA's done a lot since the Challenger. The whale, the well that our offense is going to is so dry that this season the only bowl game we're going to is the Dust Bowl. We're trying to find a win here at Utah State, and it's like we're searching for Amelia Earhart. And finally, we're doing a worse job of holding on to the football than Lindbergh did his baby. Okay. Enough. Coach Guy, hopefully you understand where I'm coming from here. Don't use national tragedies in helping your kids cope and understand the bad football that they're playing.